All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope all you guys had a safe and awesome Christmas. I know I did. Um, Gained a few extra knives through the holidays from the holidays. Anyways, it's more material for you guys. I'm really happy to have them on my channel, so I'm going to be more than happy to show you guys, although that's already on top of the stuff that I haven't showcased yet. But I will get to it. Today's a rainy day, Southern California. We already got a ton of water. It's supposed to be happening for the rest of the week, so I'm using my new light that I got for Christmas, and it is flipping awesome. So this is gonna give you guys better light than my typical little light that I've been using lately. So anyways, let's get into it, everybody. Today, I got for you Coldsteel, so let's talk blades, because that's what we're into. Today is one of those days where I just want to showcase one Coldsteel. I'm getting another one either tomorrow or the day after, pretty soon through trade, so it's going to be really, really cool. But this one, I couldn't help myself. I really, really wanted this one as well, so I kind of had to wait on it. This is the Coldsteel Ti-Lite Kriss blade. And this is the original Kriss, not the serrated, although I am carrying the serrated even now. Now, if you're going to ask me, why am I carrying this knife? Well, we all don't live in the safest of places. That's obviously not the main reason. The main reason is because I want to. I feel a little bit safer and a little bit more confident with this big boy in my pocket. On top of the already, other self-defense stuff I carry in my EDC rotation. But this is a really, really cool novelty. And I say novelty lightly because I don't think anybody's going to carry this just to open up boxes or cut rope. But I know there are some crazy people out there that are going to do that anyway. So what am I talking about? Anyways, here it comes in the box. Coldsteel 6-inch Ti-Lite. Now, if you guys are wondering why the camera positioning is a little strange, it's because it's on a new tripod. And I'm trying out a new way of filming. So everything is going to be seeming a little bit more farther away. I do apologize about that. It's going to be a little bit new to me. So if it's a little bit out of frame, please forgive me. I'm going to do my best to keep this good, keep it in the new light. So there's going to be some changes to my channel. I'm going to kind of evolve things better for your guys' eyes, and viewing entertainment, I guess, is the best way to describe it. So henceforth, it'll be different, but also better. Gradually, it's going to climb up there to get better. So anyways, let's look at the specs. It's going to be on the box. So blade length is 6 inches, overall 13 inches. It's 1 inch over a foot long. That's a big ass knife. Anyways, we also got the AUS 10A steel. The weight is 7 ounces. Thickness is 4 millimeters. Handle is 7 inches. Zyx. So, it's really strange. They call it Zytel. Some people call it Grivery or Grivery. And they just call it Zyx. For the longest time, I thought it was Zytel. I don't know if they... I'm assuming they... evolved their plastic to Zyx now, unless they just changed the name. But it's always been a very, very, very strong plastic. I've never had any issues with it. And you guys know I'm not a huge fan of plastic handles, but it's better than wood, right? Wood warps and chips and cracks and all that other stuff. I mean, it's still nice. So you get the box, nothing too crazy or fancy. Coldsteel, anytime, anywhere. You got your insurance information on here. It's the same as the last one, and of course, you got your bubble wrap in there, so you can repurpose that for your chopsticks or just throw that crap away, because it's just a box. Is this the right knife? Pretty sure it is. Yes, it is. All right, so I'm going to tell you right now, these are fun knives. These are absolutely fun knives. I wish the color was a little bit different, but at the same time, it works. The Kriss blade, some of my friends tell me that it looks like an assassin's blade, movie blade, whatever you want to call it. It has the wavy features of the, I need to be more careful. I almost hit the other tripod with the light. This thing's huge. Um, with the waved pattern or the flame type blade. You do see this kind of stuff in movies and stuff like that and TV shows. This is a very interesting blade shape. Someone told me that it was kind of like the ancient version of serrations, just without the fine teeth. And from what I understand, at least Lim Thompson would say it, that the reason for this is it kind of creates more of a cutting. When you're cutting with this thing, if you do go in for a slice, it cuts just a little bit deeper than your average blade because of the blade shape alone and the nature of the curves. So it acts as kind of just really, really wide serrations. So there's a whole plethora of history behind the blade shape design. It's a very, very old design. So you're talking hundreds of years old, maybe even thousands at this point. But the knife obviously is not that old. It's very, very new. Just the design of the blade itself has a bunch of history to it. And there's not too many Kriss blades out there, but there are some in museums right now that are Oriental inspired. So you got Filipino designed Kriss blades. You also got Chinese design. It's really, really awesome stuff, the history behind them. I'm not going to get into it and bore you guys about that. We're talking about this blade right here. Now, this thing is a mean sucker. This thing is just huge. It's built to be an intimidation factor to the utmost. So on the blade itself, you got Coldsteel, AUS 10A, Taiwan. On the other side, it's Ti-Lite, and you got the Roman numerals for the 6-inch. And one of my buddies made a joke, and I made a joke about that too. I guess it's that 6th generation because they've evolved it. So I dropped that joke in. Not too many people really caught on to that. Or maybe you did and you just ignored it. I don't know. But there's just a little fun factor for that guy right there if he's listening. So anyways, really good stuff. You got a very prominent opening mechanism right here, and it's really smooth. I'm not doing any wrist action. Let's hope I don't hit anything. And it pops open with authority. So this is really, really smooth. The only thing I don't like is the fact that after a while it gets a little bit gritty and it becomes just a tiny bit harder to operate as far as flick open. But that doesn't mean you can't put some nano oil in there. It doesn't mean that you can't lube it up and make it nice and freely swinging. I don't know. But you got a very prominent thumb stud right there that's really huge, and it sticks out from the handle, so you can get to it and find it really, really, really easy. Pop it open. And no, I didn't do any wrist flick. It's that smooth out of the box. Now, this thing is still new, all right? So let me bust out the one that I have on me with the serrations so you guys kind of see a difference, okay? That one's got the serrations. This one doesn't, all right? I carry this because I know it's going to cut even more if I ever need to use it in any type of self-defense situation. At least I have something that's going to cut even worse than this. So I hope and pray that I never have to, but sometimes you just got to carry something that'll give you that reassurance. But these knives are, in my opinion, purely novelty. Or jackassery, as Nick Shabazz would say. There's a lot of element to this that just cause for wanting to just slice an innocent watermelon in half, or even, a beef brisket like good old Coldsteel is loving to show us. Now, before I get into the specs, I've already done a review on this one, so the only difference is everything is the same except for this doesn't come with serrations. All right, so this is just straight blade, and that one has the teeth on it. Now, a lot of people say that they don't like Coldsteel serrations only because it's a pain in the ass to sharpen them, and I agree completely. But my thing is, if you're going to use your knife, you're going to use it. So if you're going to use it, you're going to sharpen it. It's just inevitable. It's the pattern of how things go down. If you don't sharpen your knife, then I don't know, maybe you have a system where you just buy new knives. But here's the thing. Serrations, no matter what company they come from, are a pain in the butt to sharpen anyways. So I'm going to show you guys the serrations on this one. are very fine, okay? And it's chisel grind, so it's only sharpened on one side. You can tell it's nice and flat on this side, and on this side you can tell that the sharpening pattern is very prominent. So with that being said, this is my dedicated pocket carry, at least for now anyways, until I get the new knife that I should be getting in a couple days. I don't think that this would be a very good thing to carry, only because, well, I mean, I think it'd be good to carry, but it's very long in the pocket, for one. And I've carried this for about a week. No, I've been carrying it for 3 weeks, excuse me. It's very, 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 it just feels like you carrying around a flashlight in your pocket. It's huge. It's very long, and it fits the pocket perfectly. But it's you'll feel it. All right, that's what I'm going to say. Unless they change like the way that this handle design is, it's not going to get any thinner. Just be aware, if you carry this bad boy, you better just, kind of grow with it. It's a huge knife. It really is. You're talking 13 inches. That's a beast. Unless you're walking around with a large espada, or even an extra large espada, which I suggest the best way to carry the extra large espada would be in the belt line or the waistline, because that gargantuan sword of a knife. And you guys have seen my video on that one. It's just big. So these big knives are purely novelty, but you can use them. And I think that's what's cool about how Coldsteel designs their biggie knives. So that being said, I really like how they hooked the tip on there just ever so slightly. So when you are cutting with this thing, you have the optimal edge every time. And it's just a really good piercer too. I've actually pierced a pumpkin with it. Not this one, that one. Just to see if, and I didn't do it hard. I just poked it and it slid in ever so easily. And I was like, whoa, because pumpkins are hard stuff. I fear cutting a pumpkin. Last time my buddy cut a pumpkin with a machete, he bent it all to hell. Yeah, I know, machete's a really crap type of metal anyway. But still, imagining doing that to like a $200-300 knife, or risking it and then you damage your blade in some small way, it's gonna bother you. It's probably gonna be pouring salt on the wound anyway. But with this kind of jackassery right here is just, it's built to be used. That's what Coldsteel makes these for. They're built so that way you can use them for jackassery or whatnot, or self-defense, or keep it on you, keep it in your car, whatever. This is a very intimidating blade. The people that I've showed this to have literally picked it up and they're going, what are you doing with this thing? Why are you carrying this thing? And I'm like, well, I, after being mugged, it's kind of after almost being mugged, it kind of makes you want to be more careful and carry something a little bit bigger, a little bit scarier, and hope that's all you get to use it for is just a scare tactic. Because, I mean, it worked the first time with a little 3.5-inch blade. Why not with a 6-inch blade? So this thing has hella reach. You go down here, you're holding it, and you got all that extra space on the handle, but you got all that reach. Really cool stuff. If I didn't mention it already, you can also wave it out the pocket, and I probably didn't mention it, but this prominent piece right here that's nice and jimped, it catches onto the pocket when you pull it out, and it pops open like a fixed blade. But you have to do it just right. And I gotta tell you, with the way that this knife is shaped, it's kind of a very strange thing to do, and I fail at this. Waving out the pocket, because of the blade shape and the spine prevents that from actually happening. So just keep that in mind when you purchase this knife. If it's not the straight bladed version and you got the Kriss, you're going to need to do a little bit of practicing with it to get it just right. Or you're going to have to do the 2-step system, like I said. Clear the pocket clip from the pocket and then make sure that you get that hook on your pocket, then wave it out. Like I said, it's a two-step process that takes some time and practice, but with that time and practice, you'll be able to get this on the fly, no problem. But with this, for me, with this blade shape, is the very first knife I cannot successfully wave out of my pocket, if at all, only because of the waviness. Now, am I saying it's impossible? It can't be done? No. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that it just makes it that much more difficult to wave this out of the pocket simply because of the spine's shape. So, keeping that in mind, we're going to go ahead and get into the specs. I'm going to do the specs real quick. This is my dedicated pocket one, so this one is for the collection. But if I really, sometimes I want variety. So there are times when I don't feel like I want to carry a serrated knife. So that's what this is for. That's why I got it. All right, so get into the specs, dude. Oh, I just bumped the table. And it didn't shake the tripod because it's on the different... Unless it did, I apologize. All right, so you're looking at a whopping 7.2 ounces. It comes in, it says it's 7.2, so I'll go with 7. That's fine. And just for your guys' enjoyment, I'm going to go ahead and do the measurement from the tip to the end of the handle. Yes, it is exactly 13 freaking inches. Sorry, I just bumped it. Getting used to this setup. It's a little bit strange for me, but it works a little bit better. You guys can see a lot more. So, and that's a good thing. You guys aren't, all the way up close when you don't really want to be. But that way, if I do bigger knives, you guys will be able to see it better, So that's why I'm doing this on a tripod, and it's actually working pretty well. So anyways, thickness. Busting out the calipers right now. Everything's a little bit farther reach, but that's okay. So you're looking at 21.0 at the thickest of the handle, and you're looking at a 3.6 millimeters on the blade. So it is relatively... Oh, I bumped it again. I'm sorry. I'm still getting used to this, guys. Bear with me, all right? I do apologize. So you do get a bit of length with this thing, and a bit... And the width, obviously, is a little bit strange because of the blade shape. All right? It's kind of got this... It's got this bevel on both sides. So with that being said, sharpening this thing isn't a dream. I can tell you that right now. I've seen somebody try to sharpen that, and the wave just went away. The waves, they just kind of got a little bit straighter, and you couldn't really see the shape too well unless you saw just the back spine. So this isn't a knife that I would go sharpening anytime soon, unless you absolutely have to, and that's the only option. Then I wish you the best of luck, because whenever I sharpen a knife, I try to sharpen the knives that are more traditional in shape because they're much more easier to sharpen. But for the wild ones that look like this, I wouldn't really sharpen right on the fly, only because you just look at it. That doesn't look like I'm going to make a really even edge on it if I had to. This would be something that I would probably send back to the company in order to get it sharpened professionally so I don't screw up, But I learn every day, and I did just bump the camera just now. I do apologize. Like I said, this is all new for me, so I'm doing what I can so that way you guys have a better look on stuff. But hey, you can see it bigger without me having to be like, okay, you can see this side, and now you can see this side. Oh man, my hands are all dry. Oh, it's cold outside. Don't blame me. But yeah, this is Coldsteel at its best. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of too many of the newer Coldsteels that have come out. They've gone and scaled down to make their knives a little bit more affordable. Thus, one of the reasons why I do not have the large Luzon in my collection. It just, to me, I don't like the plastic pocket clip. I'm not a huge fan of the cheap Chinese version of what they claim to be OS 8, but it's like a 8CR 13 or 9CR 14 MOV, whatever it is. It's just a really cheap steel, and I don't really care for it too much. I might get it, but that's way later down the road when I don't know. I hate, the one thing that bothers me is the plastic pocket clip. Anyways, this is very sturdy for what it is. It's a very novelty type item, okay? So you got a liner lock. This is not the Andrew Demko triad lock, but it still works. It's still very sturdy. There's absolutely no blade play. This is just a fun knife to carry. And I try not to, let certain people hold the knife because I know that this would probably scare a lot of people. This is not a knife that you just bust open in front of everybody. This is they're going to call the cops on you. You're here as a murderer type weapon. So, I don't know. It's purely novelty, really cool stuff. It's really fun. It's good to have in the collection if you can. But, that I guess that all really just depends on the person, whether or not they really want something for that or if they just admire them from a distance. Anyways, that's my review on the Coldsteel 6-inch Ti-Lite Kriss version. Awesome stuff. I like the entire lineup. I think I have a whole collection of these guys. I think I do. I think I have the smaller one. Yeah, I do. Yeah, man. See, I can't even remember what knives I have or what. And they're all in one place. That's ridiculous, isn't it? Anyways, go ahead and slash that like button, stab that subscribe, slice that bell icon so you guys know when I post some new stuff. And in these craziest of times, everybody, please be kind, be safe, carry responsibly. And I want all of you to know to have a happy holidays. All right? Be safe out there. The world's crazy right now. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.